Administrative interviews are the foundational method of information gathering in workplace investigations. They are used to collect information from individuals who are not suspected of wrongdoing, but who may have relevant knowledge of events, systems, or workplace context. Unlike investigative interviews, which focus on testing involvement or obtaining admissions, administrative interviews are information-seeking in nature. The goal is not to determine guilt, but to build a complete and reliable understanding of what happened from multiple perspectives. These interviews typically involve witnesses, bystanders, process owners, stakeholders, or individuals with indirect knowledge of the situation. This may also include IT or payroll personnel, managers familiar with processes, or in some cases former employees or external parties such as clients or vendors. Each is selected based on their ability to contribute relevant insight. The tone of an administrative interview should be professional, respectful, and conversational. It is not an interrogation. Instead, it should feel like a structured discussion where the interviewee is encouraged to explain their perspective. The investigator maintains what is often called a warm neutrality, being empathetic to the stress of the process while remaining strictly objective and non-judgmental. In terms of questioning, the emphasis is on open-ended prompts and structured exploration. Using approaches such as, "Tell me about," "Walk me through," or "Describe what you observed" encourages narrative responses rather than short answers. The 5W1H framework who, what, where, when, why, and how is used to systematically build the account. Why questions are typically reserved for later, as they can feel accusatory if introduced too early. A key principle is the 80-20 rule, where the witness should do most of the talking. The investigator's role is to guide, clarify, and probe and not dominate the conversation. The focus is on extracting context, patterns, and background logic, rather than simply collecting isolated facts. Selection of interviewees is also strategic. Not everyone needs to be interviewed. Investigators focus on individuals who are most likely to have credible or relevant information. In large-scale issues, a representative sample of employees may be sufficient rather than interviewing every person involved. The general sequencing is to start with the complainant, then neutral witnesses, followed by more involved parties, and finally the respondent. Documentation is critical throughout. Notes should be factual, objective, and free from interpretation or opinion. The investigator records what is said, not what they believe it means. Where appropriate, statements are reviewed with the interviewee at the end, and they may be asked to sign a confirmation that the account is accurate. If a witness refuses to sign, the investigator may prepare a contemporaneous record of what was stated. Finally, administrative interviews include important safeguards. Interviewees are reminded of confidentiality expectations to prevent discussion that could influence other witnesses. They are also informed of anti-retaliation protections to ensure they can speak freely. At the same time, it is made clear that there are no off-the-record comments. Everything shared forms part of the official investigative record.